يا راغبا في كل علم نافع.
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن، والسيرة العلياء عطرة الشدى طيب يفوح لأهل كل زمان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. أما بعد، Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this first class of our third semester with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal in Zad Academy, in our subject talking about the biography of the Prophet alayhi as-salatu was-salam. Islam is the best of all religions. It's the final of all religions. And Allah Azza wa Jal had sent us the best of His messengers with the best of His scriptures and books, only that we would take the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam as our role model, as the best of examples, as Allah mentioned in chapter 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, that He is a role model to follow if we believe in Allah and the last day and remember Allah a lot. If you look around, you will find that Muslims have a lot of problems, calamities. Not only the Muslims, the whole world. And these crises are caused by the distance between us and Allah's Sharia and Allah's law. And one of the main reasons for this failure in our lives is that we don't have a role model to follow and to take as an example. And this is why our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is here for us. People are divided between following celebrities, actors, singers, here and there people who are nothing in this world and who have not benefited the world with anything. Rather, they have dragged the whole world to the gutters, to the ground, to the bottom. Now, we're presenting the world with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to learn from his life how he dealt with different segments of the community, with different levels of the people, how he dealt with his wives, his own children, grandchildren, his neighbors, his companions, the new Muslims, the sinners, the disbelievers, his servants, his enemies, and the likes. How he dealt with those who were sick, those who were poor, those who were servants or destitute. We want to learn so that we would follow his example and reach the best of levels possible for humans. We begin with how he dealt with his wives. The Prophet ﷺ married 11 women. 2 died in his lifetime, and he died with 9 of his wives, leaving them behind. So his first wife was Khadija bint Khuwaylid. Then he married Aisha bint Abi Bakr and Sauda bint Zum'ah, Hafsa bint Umar, Zainab bint Jahsh, and Zainab bint Khuzaymah. He married also Salama, Hind bint Abi Umayyah. He married Habiba, Ramla bint Abi Sufyan. He married Maymunah bint al-Harith and Juwayriyah bint al-Harith and Safiyyah bint Huyay ibn Akhtab. May Allah be pleased with all of the mothers of the believers. Those who died in his lifetime were Khadija bint Khuwaylid and Zainab bint Khuzaymah. May Allah be pleased with them. When we look at the biography of the Prophet ﷺ, his seerah, we find that he dealt with his wives in a very high quality manner. And he emphasized this so that men would follow suit. He used to say, the best of people in Iman, the most perfect people in Iman, are the most perfect people in their akhlaq, in their behavior and moral conduct. And the best of you men are the best to their wives, to their women. And this is unfortunately noticed in our communities. You find us men being friendly, cheery, nice to live with and to go with and to hang out with when we are with our friends and with other strangers. But the moment we set foot in our own homes, everything changes. We become stressed. We become people with frowning faces, not accepting jokes, always ready to pick up a fight. And when you look at the people and how they deal with their wives, you find total extremes. Either you find people so abusive physically and mentally, very harsh and rude with their wives, as if they're treating an enemy, not their closest people on earth. And these are not real Muslims. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, many women visited my wives complaining of their husbands beating them up. By Allah, you will never find such men to be the best among you. And this is a direct warning to men that they are not the best. If they're pursuing paradise and the pleasure of Allah, what they're doing is definitely not in the Muslims' handbook. And on the flip side, there are those who unfortunately do not pay any attention to disciplining and taking care of their wives. Men are supposed to be guardians and protectors of women, as mentioned in Ayah 34, chapter 4, Surah An-Nisa. But when they leave their women unattended, so you find their wives free mixing, not abiding by the hijab, wearing inappropriate clothes, flirting and chit-chatting with the opposite gender, engaging in haram activities, watching movies, listening to music, not praying on time, and they have no problem with that. Indeed, such men are the worst among men, even if they pray and fast. How was the Prophet ﷺ? The Prophet was the best, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mother Aisha tells us that when the Prophet was home, he would do his own chores. He would fix his clothes and sew them if they needed sewing. He would fix his sandals. He would milk his own goat. And he would help his wife to the best of his ability until it is time for prayer. When it is time for prayer, he would definitely go and pray. And it shows you that the Prophet ﷺ was not a tyrant in his home. Yes, at the time of Mecca, Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, would never allow him to even lift a spoon or to do anything in the house. She would take care of everything. When he went to Medina and met other women, it was different. So none of them was in the caliber of Khadija. And hence, he, the Prophet ﷺ, did not demand anything. He was an easygoing person. So he used to do these things himself. Now, having said that, bear in mind the Prophet had 9 wives, alayhi salatu wassalam. And when you have 9 wives, we see people today having 2 wives and leaning towards one of them 90%, leaving the other one unattended most of the time, because he loves one more than the other. He never asks about the other, never calls them, never picks up their calls. And they feel how bad taking a second or a third or a fourth wife is for women. And this is one of the huge flaws and shortcomings of so-called men. The Prophet wasn't like this, alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, used to visit all of his wives every single day, in the morning and in Asr time. In the morning, as Ibn Hajar says, may Allah have mercy on his soul, he used to pass by them after Fajr prayer, just giving them salam, checking on them, without staying, and leave. In Asr time, it is a longer time, so he used to go in, give salam, sit for a few minutes, chit chat, and then go to the other house and the third and the fourth until he goes to the final one. He's staying the night in her home. And this shows you that the Prophet ﷺ was not negligent of the other wife, like so many men who are married to the second wife or the third wife unfortunately failed to do. They failed to show their wives that they're all important to them and they're equal. Instead, the moment one of them starts to nag, he just leaves her, unattend her, and don't care for her or for her calls, making her cement the idea that polygamy or monogamy or whatever, I don't know what they called it, to have more than one wife, polygyny, I think, yes, is not a good thing, where actually it is mentioned in the Quran and it was done by the Prophet ﷺ, but it requires a real man to do it, not someone who would give a heads up 2-3 years before he does it, torturing his wife with a dull knife as if he's slaughtering his sacrifice with a dull knife. No. Why do you do this? Why do you remind her and kill her a number of times per day when you're not going to do it soon? And even some of them stupid, excuse my French, some of them people who think that they're doing the right thing may, at the engagement stage, before the marriage, at the first interview, and they come to me and say, Shaykh, they rejected me because I told my future spouse that I intend to marry more than one. They kicked me out. Of course they kicked you out. Because this is insane. This is not part of the Sunnah. And this is not the way of the Prophet alayhi as-salatu was-salam. هذا والله أعلم، ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.
يا راغبا في كل علم نافع،
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن، والسيرة العلياء عطرة الشدى طيب يفوح لأهل كل زمان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.